Good afternoon, this is Derek Dodge with Interstate Roofing, conducting a repair attempt. I'm here at Miss Jenna Johnson's house in Grovetown. It's 1951 Shoreline Drive, Grovetown, Georgia. It is the 3rd of November 2024. This is the second repair. I'm going to do a video on this one. The first repair I did on the left side, so it'd be the what is that, western facing slope. We're on the rear slope now. First repair on that slope concluded that it was not repairable, so this one is important that I do a video so that we can establish that the aging condition of the roof will not allow for repairs. So as you can see, I have identified the wind damage shingle. We can see the crease across the top denoted by the X. I've identified the course that it belongs to. So what we need to do to repair this shingle is obviously break the tar strips in the two courses above, remove the nails, replace it with a like and kind quality shingle, fasten it back down to the roof, and then see whether or not consequential damage has happened as a result of the repair. Of important note, you can see in the two courses above there's no wind damage shingles. I'm going to be doing my utmost to make sure that I'm not overtly manipulating the shingles. I'm going to be using industry standard tools. I have a flat pry bar to break the tar strips, remove the nails, and then a mag hatch. I'm not going to be using a snake. You guys don't have the authority to tell me what tools I can use, so before anybody tries to tell me I used improper tools, I'm a contractor. I get to use the tools that I deem necessary. Now, to a caveat to that, I'm not going to be lifting these shingles above a 45 degree. I'm going to be showing you guys what 45 degrees looks like, so that way if there's ever any issue of whether or not you think I lifted it above a 45, there's going to be a screenshot so you can see what 45 is. So no one can ever say that I'm not lifting these shingles, or that I am lifting these shingles above a 45 degree angle. But yeah, I do not have to use a roofer snake. The people that use roofer snakes are DIYers. I am a roofer, so I'm not going to be using a snake. So now that I've said all of that stuff, let's start a baseline. So the first thing actually that I have to do is have a coinciding photo report to go along with the video. Overviews and close-ups. So this is a trusty speed square. We use this in all sorts of applications in construction. For this, we're going to be using this to find what 45 degrees is. You can see this is the pivot point, so this is where I'm going to be placing it. And we have the trusty degrees right here. So right here in the center, that's 45, so all the way up would be 90. This is 0, that's 45. So we match up against the pitch. We don't have to worry about damaging the shingle because it's already wind damaged. So as I lift that up, that is 45 degrees. So let me tilt the camera so you can see that. That is what 45 degrees looks like. I do not need to lift this shingle above that. I'll be doing this again once I put the new shingle in, just so you can see what 45 degrees looks like. So let me do it one more time, give you an opportunity to take a screenshot of what 45 degrees looks like. That is 45 degrees. That is what 45 degrees looks like lifted from the center. Go ahead and take an opportunity to take a screenshot of this. Now that we know that we have a baseline for what 45 degrees is and that I won't be lifting this above that, let's go ahead and do the video. So go ahead and break the tar strips. I don't want to tear anything, so just put my hand down just in case. These shingles are really brittle, you can tell. This is about a 18 to 20-year-old roof. Okay, so now that the tar strips have been broken, we got to remove the nails. Don't need to lift the shingles very high at all. You can use the pry bar and leverage to remove the nails. Again, we're not lifting these shingles any more than is necessary to get rid of the nails. Let me just use these gloves for later, but I don't need them now. Just put these here. I don't need these now. It's removed. One more. I understand why State Farm says to use a snake, because you don't have to lift the shingles really at all to nail them down. It's just the issue is that you're trading damage for damage. And I'll explain what I mean by that. So you just look at the condition of this roof. This roof is probably not repairable. I think anybody with a reasonable mindset would look at this and be like, yeah, this doesn't look really repairable, but just for argument's sake. So the nail gets nailed about right here, and with the snake, where you're hitting with your hammer is right here. So the idea is the force is not being here, so you don't have to hit this shingle, but you're hitting down here. The issue is that all the force from the nail is hitting here. You see all this granule loss that's happening? It's a byproduct. So essentially what you're doing with a snake, if a roof isn't repairable, it's not repairable. You're just trading damage below versus above. So when we use a pry bar and a mag hatch, the damage will face up here. With a roofer snake, it'll start here and it'll go here and it'll go here. So you're just trading damage here to here. So if a roof's not repairable, it's not repairable. That's just my 2 cents. So we've removed the nails, been able to remove the shingle. So now we take photos of that. Overviews and close-ups. So these shingles that were installed were Owens Corning's 3-tab Onyx Black. They don't make it anymore. So the charcoal is the closest color match that I could find. But more importantly, this is a 25-year 3-tab organic shingle. This is like and kind in quality. We use the chalk to identify the course that it belongs to. It's also a great way to match it up. So let's do this one more time. This is a brand new shingle, so it's super pliable. Let's lift. That's 45 degrees right there. So go ahead and take a screenshot of that. I do not need to lift these shingles more than that. Mag hatch is great because of the magnetic feature. When I slap it onto the roof, I'm able to match the pitch and not bury the shingle or bury the nail. And instead of having to do 6 or 7 hits like you would with a roofer snake, I'm able to set it in one and finish it in another. Again, I'm still not lifting these shingles above a 45. I'm not hitting the shingle with the hammer. A little bit more involved. This looks a little bent. That might be a problem. Still not lifting above a 45. Feel free to look at that, right in the same hole. Matching the pitch, setting in one and finishing in two. So it's actually taking me longer to explain how I'm going to do this than it did for me to do it. Overviews, close-ups. So I can see from the roof, I'm not sure if the GoPro picks it up right now, but I can see some consequential damage. So I've heard some adjusters say if you lift any shingles above a 45-degree angle, you will have granule loss. That is not the case. Granule loss happens as a byproduct of the matting, the fiberglass matting fracturing. So that's where we get the creases from. So I've heard, like I said, adjusters say if you lift any shingle above a 45, you're gonna see granule loss. So let's lift this up to a 45. Wipe my hands across the top. We see absolutely no granule loss whatsoever because this shingle's new, it's really pliable. Let's go a little bit higher. So I didn't lift the shingles to a 65 degree, but this is an example. So you can still see tension, wiping my hands across the top, and look at that. Now let's go to the ever famous adjuster accusing someone of going 90. That's a 90 degree right there. I still feel tension in the shingle, still pliable. I see absolutely no granule loss whatsoever. So one thing that I look at, let's get rid of the chalk. One thing that we look for when we're seeing whether or not matting is fractured is we check the feel of the shingle. So that feels like actually like the matting is not fractured. I'll let my hands across. I see a little bit of creasing, but I would say overall, just based off of the feel, this is good. Let's look at this one. This one kind of feels like a sticky note flapping in the wind. I wipe my hands across the top, and you can see the matting was fractured. So all the granules have dislodged. So that's a fail. This one right here, let's see. That one feels good. Not a lot. So I'd say this one's a pass. This one right here, this feels like a sticky note. We are right by our hands across the top, and look at that. We can see the creasing. So the matting is fractured in this one as well. This right here, you can actually see the crease. Look at all that. So all that happened as a byproduct of the matting fracturing during the course of the repair. We can see the crease right here as well. Wipe my hands across the top, and look at that. Look at all that. So in an effort to replace one wind damaged shingle, essentially what has happened is we've got creasing here. Is that nail not all the way set? Did I mess that up? No. So creasing there, creasing here, crease here. And I see creasing right there. Actually, this looks like a fail too. I don't know, this one's hard to tell. I might have said this one was a fail. It's hard to tell. Kind of feels like it's fine. It doesn't look good. It looks like an old shingle. Let's just go with this. 4. Let's go ahead and take overviews and close-ups. So like I said, in an effort to replace one, we've created 4 more tabs. So that would be a failed repair attempt. The age and condition of this roof will not allow for repairs to be made. Now I know that State Farm doesn't cover, and you guys shouldn't have to cover age and condition, but I'm not here trying to repair an old roof. I'm trying to repair a storm damaged roof that was, devastated because of Hurricane Helene. We have, damage on all slopes of the roof. You can see all the missing shingles here. We can see wind creases there. Like on every facet of this roof, there's wind damage. So the only way to get Miss Johnson back to pre-loss conditions is a full roof replacement. What I'm going to be doing to protect her for the rain that's coming up is I'm going to be putting an emergency tarp right here. If you have any questions or concerns, my contact information will be in the signature of the email. But that will conclude this repair attempt. So thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day.